We came back. And hi, everybody. It's great to have you with us for another edition of TSN Wrestling. Hey, what a card we got. We've got Corporal Kirshner in the area. A lot of wrestling fans will know the mayhem that he can create on the side of the good guys. He'll be a threat to the Karachi Vice. And speaking of the Karachi Vice, Mucka Singh and Jerry Morrill will swing into action. They have a bout with Hirohasi and Viet Cong number 2. And the big bout on the card, a 6-man elimination tag. You are pinned and you're out of it. It features Bruce Hart, Brian Pillman, and Chris Benoit. And they swing into action against Jason the Terrible, along with the Zodiac and the Great Gamma. Batten down the hatches. The Fury will begin in just a moment. We shall launch the ship, so to speak, into the heavy waters of an opening bout. Biff Wellington against Randy Thatcher. Two young men who are very talented. Wellington, the rougher of the two. Thatcher, the relative raw rookie. Wellington at 218, hails from Lloydminster, Alberta. And young Mr. Thatcher at 215, Regina, Saskatchewan. This is one fall. There's a 15-minute time limit. We've gone just past the 1-minute mark. And the referee, Wayne Hart. James, a couple of good-looking young guys.
They are good-looking, but I'll tell you one thing. I am looking forward to the arrival of Corporal Kirshner on tonight's card. He is a one-man wrecking crew, and he's gonna wreck Karachi Vice.
Well, there might be an argument from the Karachi kids on that one. But it's great to see him in the territory. Certainly he has the ability to do precisely that. And he can do it on behalf of the good people in wrestling. My goodness, would that be a change.
It is about time. And focusing back on this bout, I have to say it must be a treat for Biff Wellington, the young grappler out of Lloydminster, to finally actually have an advantage in experience over his opponent. Randy Thatcher, a relative rookie. Biff Wellington has been around for several months. Wellington always improving, always looking better in the ring. Thatcher is going to have his work cut out for him.
I do believe that's true. Well, as we told you, a little later in the card, some interesting things. Important tag match. 6-man elimination tag as well. Could wind up in a 6-man situation with 3 against 1. Never know what's going to happen in elimination. Look now, good hip toss. Engineered by young Mr. Thatcher. Drives his man down once again. You know, there are some cynics in the crowd sometimes. They yell boring and so on. These are young men fighting their way up the ladder, and just because there isn't mayhem in there, you get the boo birds flying from out of yonder rafters.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing some goof that yelled boring get in the ring with the likes of Biff Wellington or Randy Thatcher. It wouldn't be very boring for very long.
Years and years ago, I saw that happen. Man came out of the audience into the ring. Boy, did he get a rude reception. He also got no sympathy from the police or anybody else. My, he took a pounding. Now, the squared circle belongs to the members of the wrestling profession here, and certainly not the crowd. Now, we have Wellington driving him off the ropes. Gives him a shot. Good elbow to the throat as Thatcher went by. Tango once again. Wellington, right now, is all over Randy Thatcher. 15-minute time limit. Now, ways to go if it goes the regulation distance. Biff Wellington of Lloydminster in action against Randy Thatcher of Regina. 1 fall 15. We've just gone past the 5-minute mark. Oh, did Thatcher get flung into that corner?
Thatcher, a relative rookie, is taking a little bit of a beating at the hands of Biff Wellington, a man who has reformed. Biff Wellington used to be under the cloud of Karachi Vice. He was one of Judah Rosenblum's pupils. He escaped their clutches. He is now pretty much of a fair, honest wrestler in there, and he's acquitting himself well against the young rookie Randy Thatcher from my hometown, Regina, Saskatchewan.
Regina, huh? Boy, that's impressive. I mean, I'm from Saskatoon, so you know how that impresses me. Nah, you get some Saskatchewan in your blood, as all Canadians know. A little hard to get rid of it, isn't it? Got a special feeling. At any rate, we are in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Long-time home for both Jimbo and myself. And we are watching Biff Wellington against Randy Thatcher. Wellington is ranked number 6 in the mid-heavyweight division. That's a fair ways down, but considering his experience and the men in front of him, like Gama, Hasse, Smith, Benoit, Bruce Hart, Viet Cong Express number 2, he's doing all right. I would debate that he is better than Viet Cong number 2 is, but that's personal opinion.
One thing, that whole mid-heavyweight division is going to go into a massive catatonic jumble the moment that Owen Hart returns from his triumphant tour of Japan. He's been setting them on his ear, breaking all kinds of attendance records in Japan. He's fully recovered from the injuries he suffered from Karachi Vice. He is ready to go. We'll see him soon.
I hope so, and I say that only because apparently we're having a hard time getting him away from Lotus Land. He is so popular over there, the Japanese people don't want to let him go. But that is a measure of his brilliance. Young Owen Hart. Here's Thatcher. Wellington missed him, but he caught him with a knee going by. Quick recovery by Wellington, who missed on his initial sortie. Now he covers, and it's a 1-2, and that's it.
This bout very even thus far. I'm impressed with Randy Thatcher holding his own against Biff Wellington. Thatcher, I think if he does just a little bit more weight training, bulks up a little bit more, puts on a few more pounds for that added strength, we could see a future superstar in wrestling.
Well, they're at mid-ring. Not much happening at the moment, but the clock is ticking away as we move toward the 10-minute mark. Remember, it's a one-fall affair with a 15-minute time limit. Trying to think, it seems to me that Thatcher is a veteran of only about 1 month, isn't he, Jim?
He is, in fact, in his very first bout, he had probably the most rude reception you could ever think of. He had his mouth totally cut open by the Zodiac. Thatcher showing good form, though. Wellington could be in a bit of trouble if this young man continues to show moves like that great suplex. 1, 2. Oh, just got his foot up on the ropes, did Biff Wellington.
Well, Thatcher looking for an upset win because Wellington, with his experience, certainly has to be favored. But he is showing that he is not really impressed, is Mr. Thatcher. Gets a 2 count once again. Randy Thatcher against Biff Wellington. Something's got to give up those ropes. Nelly caught him going by. Wellington, with a look of concern on his face, I do not think he anticipated as much a battle out of Thatcher as he is getting here. Pulls him down, covers him. 1, 2, 3. He got him. He got him. Close call, but just got him.
Well, there isn't a wrestling fan anywhere in North America, anywhere in the world for that matter, who won't recognize this man, Corporal Kushner. And Corporal Kirshner is here in our territory. And on behalf of promoter Stu Hart, Ed Whalen, myself, like to welcome you. I know that there's an awful lot of people that want to see you cleaning up Karachi Vice.
That's right, brother. First of all, I'd like to thank the people of Calgary for having me here, especially Stu Hart for calling me up. I've been training down in the swamps down in southern Florida, getting pumped up. He gave me a call. He says, this is Karachi Vice. I said, what? He said, Karachi Vice. He's talking about these things, these two things.
Mukkan Singh and Gamma
Singh and Jason the Terrible. And he says, they're running over everybody up here, brother. All I got to tell you is I have been around the world. I have kicked butt all over the world. I've been in rings all over the world. And when Stu Hart called me and said, Corporal, can you come up here and do some cleaning up? I said, Stu, you called the right man, because I'm fired, I'm wired, and I'm here to kick butt.
Whoa, you heard him. Corporal Kirshner, and he is ready for blood.
Johnny Smith it is, Manchester, England, 228 pounds against the veteran Mr. Hito of Tokyo at 222. This is one fall, 20-minute time limit. Johnny Smith, one of the top contenders for the Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title, and certainly a young man who has to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division as well, where he is ranked number 6 in the territory. Now, I'll tell you, Smith has talent to burn. Jürgen Herman, the referee. One fall, 20 minutes. We are moving toward the 5-minute mark.
It has been a fairly even bout thus far. I would say Johnny Smith has had the best of it, although Mr. Hito right now is in control. Johnny Smith wants that mid-heavyweight title, but he's 3 pounds over the limit at 228, although he is, as you say, Ed Whalen, ranked number 2 in the division. He should be able to lose that 3 pounds if he gets a title shot with no trouble at all.
Timekeeper Tommy Carr tells all assembled that we have passed the 5-minute mark. One fall, 20 minutes. Johnny Smith, in actuality, is in bout number 2 on the card. And frankly, he is more used to being up around the 5th or 6th bouts where the main events are usually housed. He seems to be being forced to work his way back up the ladder.
It's a bit of a tough road for Johnny Smith. He has been battered about and has suffered some small hurts, cuts, bruises, and injuries at the hands of some of the villains of Karachi Vice. So, as you say, he has had to work himself back up the ladder. He has had a series of tough bouts with the likes of the man that you seem to admire, the king of the dirty maneuver, Bad News Allen.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about here? Bad news. I talked to him on the telephone. I talked to his grandfather in Zimbabwe. Together we have shown Bad News Allen the error of his ways. He's going to come back clean, cute, and devastating. You watch, and you're bad-mouthing him. How can you do that?
It's very easy, considering some of the cheating that he's been doing in the ring. He's suspended, and that's deservedly so, and it's interesting that you say you're going to reform him. You sound like you have all the makings, Ed Whalen, of a television evangelist.
I'm not going to touch that one. Oh, yea, brethren, it is Mr. Hito up top. Johnny Smith down on the deck. It is one fall. There is a 20-minute time limit. We are moving toward the 10-minute mark. Yea, verily and forsooth, believe what I do say at this moment. Couple of strong uppercuts by Smith. Gets his man. It's a 2 count. That's it. Hito having a little trouble with the shoulder. And looks at Johnny with a, gosh, I think you're kind of tough admission in his eyes. Hito, long-time veteran, ranked number 7 after the champion in the mid-heavyweight division. Of late, he has had sort of an up-and-down career. Can't seem to put a lot of victories together in a row. And as a result, it's been a while since he has had a title shot. I'll tell you, you were talking to Corporal Kirshner a few moments ago. This young man's a little emotional.
He's very emotional. He says he's going to bust some heads when he deals with Karachi Vice. He says promoter Stu Hart gave him the long-distance call, said this Karachi Vice crew has been putting a lot of good, clean wrestlers in the hospital. He's been made aware of that, and you can bet Corporal Kirshner will be making an impact on the bad news folks of Karachi Vice, and number one on his hit list will be coming up shortly when he tangles with Goldie Rogers.
I kind of feel Goldie will be cannon fodder. You're watching Johnny Smith out of Manchester, Mr. Hito of Tokyo, Japan. A minute away from the 10-minute mark, 20-minute time limit. Referee Jurgen Herman, the one and only controversial Jurgen Herman. And right now, Mr. Hito's got his problems. And with that smack you could hear way across the arena.
Whoa, incredible forearm shiver sent right to the neck of Mr. Hito. Look at that slam. Johnny Smith gets a 2 count. He is very close to dispatching Mr. Hito. He has had no trouble in there at all. Hito's only weapon, that vicious headbutt of his, but you can tell that extra strength, the bulked up Johnny Smith, he is in control.
Well, the difference in the rankings between these two in the mid-heavyweight division, Hito number 7, Smith number 2. It should be Smith dominating, but you never know on a given night, do you? We are past the 10-minute mark. I'm certainly looking forward to the debut of Corporal Kirshner, which we'll see very shortly. Knee drop to the throat cover. It's a 1 and it's a 2, and that's it. This is the first really genuine rally that we have seen out of Hito. Well, Johnny Smith seems to be objecting. I don't know whether he means it's a chokehold or Hito's got dirty feet. I'm not...
Could be a little bit of bromidrosis, foot stink.
That's terrible.
But actually, Jurgen Herman, it's a blessing that he's refereeing a bout that doesn't feature a lot of outside interference or dirty tactics, because with 2 clean, very respectable wrestlers in the ring, Jurgen Herman's obvious flaws, mainly in terms of judgment and vision, cannot be exposed.
Very well articulated for a newspaper man. That's Smith up top. Gonna pull him over? Who's gonna pull who over? Hito says, not me. And he reverses the proceedings, taking Smith down, shaking him up to some degree. Knee drop caught him on the side of the head. There's a 1, there's a 2, but he's up on the rope with that leg is Johnny Smith. And Hito a little impatient. He thought he had him.
Before this bout started, I thought it would be an easy victory for Johnny Smith. He is a good one, but Mr. Hito, a veteran of many years of the ring wars, shows a lot of savvy. He's got that vicious headbutt. He's got those karate chops. There's that headbutt, one of the hardest heads in all of wrestling. And you can see this is no cakewalk for Johnny Smith.
No, it's not. And right now, well, here comes Smith back, just as we speak. Smith is going to drive him off those ropes. Look out, Nelly. Oh, did he catch him with an elbow right on the point of the jaw. Going to do it again. Got him with a clothesline going by. One. Just a 1 count. Smith looking like he's a little impatient, wants to get this over with. Is he going to splash from up top? No, he's not. No, he's not. Took too long. Seemed a little confused.
Well, he did try a splash, but the swimming pool was empty.
Got that right. Off those ropes now. Once again, Smith ducks under, coming back. Got him going down. Power slam. 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. It's Johnny Smith. There he is. Your winner. Well, I think right about now, it's time to tune in to another universe. You probably say Vice Busters, and how about, what are those bandanas? Talk about fancy.
Yeah, we've been having hundreds of requests about the bandanas, the Vice Buster shirts and whatnot. Our mission is to turn on the Karachi Vice. We're going to do some vice busting. And as to these bandanas, they're called bandanas, not bandanas. And from what I'm told by our local manufacturer, they'll be on the market real soon. So all those fans who've been asking about them, they should be on the market real soon.
Well, Chris Benoit, you have the problem of dealing with a 6-man elimination. That can be perilous at times.
Yeah, it all comes down to tonight, Ed. 6-man elimination tag match. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to come out here tonight and eliminate them one by one. Gamma Singh, I'm fed up of you running from me. You've ran in title matches. You ran last week. This week, there's going to be no place to run. We're going to have you in this ring, and we're going to eliminate you.
And here's another of the Vice Busters.
Well, Ed, much to my dismay, I can't come out here and verbally express the contempt and disgust I have for those 3 diabolical mutations. That's because of the restraints of TV censorship. That's fine. I want to do our talking in the ring. And all I'm going to say, when it's all said and done, it's not going to be pretty.
Bends the beam, 240 pounds. He's against Goldie Rogers, 223, Hollywood, California. The corporal, unquestionably one of wrestling's most colorful characters. And, of course, for Canadian consumption, it's rather nice that he accompanies the Stars and Stripes with a maple leaf. He'll be introduced to the ring by Jim Davies. The referee is Wayne Hart. Now the question being, can the corporal clean out the Karachi Vice? He's going to start by a guy who's not really an active member of the Karachi Vice, but he's sort of a fringe player, if you will. Goldie Rogers. This will be a one-fall affair. There's a 30-minute time limit.
Introducing the sensation from Miami, Florida, 240 pounds. You know him, you love him, Corporal Kushner.
There he is. Guy has got a lot of pizzazz, hasn't he? Getting set to go. Of course, Rogers probably will take in the vicinity of 5 minutes merely to get his glasses off. He goes through this routine time and time again. Can't get his jacket off either.
Well, I'll tell you what. He's in there against Corporal Kirshner, one of the toughest men in the business. I would think it might take him longer, Goldie Rogers longer, to take off his jacket and his sunglasses than it will for Corporal Kirshner to make short work of this man.
Off come the glasses, and now we're going to fight. Kirshner Miami, Florida. Looks like a track meet to me. Big hip toss. He's strong. He's got good size, too, hasn't he? Drives him up. There's ropes now. Look out, Nelly. Oh, he's going to spin him around. Yes, sir. No. The big crush. 2, 3. He destroyed him. He destroyed him.
What a debut in the territory for Corporal Kirshner. He came here with one aim in mind, to destroy Karachi Vice. He has taken that first step, dispatching Goldie Rogers in an elapsed time of about 1 minute. What a debut in the territory for a great wrestler. There he is with the flags. The fans love him, Corporal Kirshner. He's going to make a big impact. Well, Corporal Kirshner, we've seen some fast bouts. That lasted 37 seconds.
37 seconds was all it took. What I'd like to do is thank the people from Calgary for the warm welcome you've given me. Explain to you why I carry 2 flags. Everybody knows from the United States of America, as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, I'm very proud of my country. But also, I've trained with Canadian paratroopers who are crack, who are short, and I'm just as proud to carry the Canadian flag as I am my own. The one I like.
This is Bad News Alan standing at ringside. He's hollering at Corporal Kirshner.
You AWOL from the Girl Scout troop. And anytime you come put your nose where it don't belong, I'll give you the lesson that you deserve.
Hold my flags for you.
There's Corporal Kirshner. He's walking over to Bad News Alan.
Let me tell you something, skinhead.
He starts off by calling him skinhead. I'll tell you what, the war is on.
I don't know. I'm looking at this group. You're making it harder for me to be a fan of the Ultimate Warrior. What are you doing with a Karachi Vice? You have a plan?
Don't worry about it, Ed. Let me tell you something. I have alliance with nobody. I'm my own man, my own person, but these happen to be friends of mine. But let me tell you people who believe in freedom, who believe in justice, the Ultimate Warrior will be in live and living color in the square circle next week. But what ticks me off to no end is that I gotta stand out here and look at some geek come out here with this uniform on calling himself Corporal Kirshner when he knows that he's AWOL from the Girl Scout troop. He has no business in the ring here in the square circle. That's only a ploy, that's all it is. Only a roadblock to try to get me to get into that idiot who calls himself the North American heavyweight title, that little brat, lollipop sucker Owen Hart.
All right. And you got a 6-man tag tonight.
6-man tag. Well, I'm
a little cocky.
not worried about the 6-man tag. I want to tell you something. You know, it's been a long road to the top, Ed Willem. It's even harder trying to stay up there. As a matter of fact, I'm a little bit nervous these days, Willem, because they've got a lot of super talent coming into the mid-heavyweight division. They've got the likes of Randy Thatcher, the DeFontier brothers, and even this young blood who's a member of the Karachi Vice, but I'd like to give him a shot because he's a worthy challenger. These guys are phenomenal athletes in the ring.
You're getting nervous.
No, they're telling me that I'm running away from the likes of Hero Hostage. I am not. Can you imagine
You're getting nervous.
Greg
Oh,
Gamma,
honey.
just let me say one thing. Just let me say one thing. When I get back here next week, there'll only be 2 people out here in the ring, you and I, because the rest of them will take off like the little squirts that they
all
are.
right.
Because when the cat is away, the mice will play, but the cat will be back.
I think maybe there's a dose of overconfidence on the scene right here.
Everybody knows that.
The aging eyes on Maka Singh and Jerry Morrow as they go in a battle against Hirohasi and the Viet Cong Express number 2. This tag team battle is slated for a 45-minute time limit. We are at the beginning of the match. I might note that Singh and Morrow are rated the number 1 contenders for the international tag team belts, currently held by Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman. Hirohasi and Viet Cong Express number 2 are rated number 3 contenders. So this winds up as a very important match. That's Viet Cong number 2 jamming Jerry Morrow into the corner. Now, with any kind of luck and with no chloroform on the premises, we won't have Gamma Singh interfering in this match and pretending to be Viet Cong number 2.
That was a travesty. That happened just last week. The great Gamma donned one of the Viet Cong Express outfits. Everybody thought that the referee, Jürgen Herman, would pick up on that. He did not. No surprise. And Hiro Hase was so hurt, so beaten up in that bout, he could not recognize that it was not, in fact, his partner in his corner. It was an interloper by the name of Gamma.
As a matter of fact, I noticed during the fight that Hase didn't even really look at him. He was too absorbed with the punishment. By the way, it's nice to see Hase in the ring without tape around his ribs, rather. This is one fall, 45-minute time limit. And, of course, the big man in the ring is the one in the corner now, the 380-pound Mukka Singh. Boy, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
And they don't get much bigger than 380-pound Mukka Singh, the man they call the toilet bowl. I'll tell you one thing, Mukka Singh and his cohorts in Karachi Vice have said it, and they've said it often. They want to dispose of Hiro Hase. They still don't like the fact that he left them, and he took Viet Cong Express number 2 with him. You know, I'll tell you what, this is a grudge match of mammoth proportions.
And the 380-pound mammoth is taking a look at Hiro Hase. Nothing much happening. Oh, this Hase is brilliant. Tag, Viet Cong number 2. We're going to play Make-A-Wish. Yeah. Oh. They're doing it to a turkey named Mukka Singh. There's Viet Cong number 2. Makes the tag with Hase. Hase's going to fly. Crowd loves it. Yes, sir. He gives the Ho Chi Minh City version of a leap across that ring, a kamikaze struggle against this man, Mukka Singh. Toe hold. And a little more to the thigh section.
Hiro Hase, an incredibly popular wrestler in this territory. When you see him flying with his acrobatic style, you know why, that only Owen Hart commands more respect amongst wrestling fans in this territory. Hiro Hase, a big crowd favorite.
Well, Mukka is really getting found. I shouldn't laugh, should I? But he is such an egotist in that ring, at least, that it's interesting to see him getting a bit of his comeuppance, and he's getting precisely that at this moment. Watch now. Singh and Morrow, number 1 contenders for the tag team belts. They've got to get, whether we like it or not, a championship match with Pillman or Hart before long. Got to happen, particularly if they win tonight.
Well, both of these teams are in the contending ranks, right up at the top of the charts in the International Tag Team Division. I'll tell you, if you're wondering why Hiro Hase and Viet Cong Express number 2 work so well together, well, they both used to be Viet Cong Express. They know each other's moves. They know each other's teamwork. They're definitely in there to win this bout. They want to crack at that set of international tag team belts.
I might just mention we had a visit in the dressing room by the Dynamite Kid. He has been recovering from severe back, shoulder, leg injuries. Pound for pound, I think the best wrestler I ever saw. I know that's a big statement, because I've seen a lot of them, but I don't think any was better than the Dynamite Kid, and he's making his comeback and looking, I thought, terrifically well. And he's built up his body once again. Looks awesome.
He is looking good. He had lost a lot of weight after that tragic back injury, but he has spent a lot of time in the gym, obviously, working out. It won't be long before you see him reunited with Davey Boy Smith, and the British Bulldogs will once again be a force in the world of wrestling.
You betcha. Maka Singh being ordered out of the ring, as is Hirohase, but Maka manages to interfere. Hase comes into the ring without the tag. Turns his man, got him in a variation of a crab, pouring on the pressure.
Morrow is in trouble, and one thing that the team of Hirohase and Viet Cong Express number 2 have going for them is that they've got a good referee in there. The referee of the year in this territory last year, Wayne Hart. It's not Jürgen Herman, so that should mean a very minimum of outside interference, which is good because Judah Rosenblum is at ringside along with Casey Houston, the female wrestler in Karachi Vice, and of course, the lovely, the talented Miss Honey, the social director of Karachi Vice.
Oh, dear, she's going to catch her death a cold tonight. I'll tell you, with the outfit she's wearing, I think double pneumonia.
Double.
All right, we are nearing the 10-minute mark. This is a one-fall affair, 45-minute time limit. Maka to interfere once again. He does it right in front of Wayne Hart. In comes Hase. So far, the match has been all Hase and Viet Cong Express. They have totally dominated. I don't think Morrow and Singh anticipated this much of a struggle.
Well, one thing that certainly makes a difference is that Hirohase's ribs, which were cracked by repeated attacks by Karachi Vice, have now healed. Makan Singh has now assumed control. Laying a beating on Hirohase, but don't count Hase out.
Hase into that corner. Maka Singh, I must admit, is normally a pretty slow starter. Morrow's got Hase all tied up in that corner. He's got the leg pressured against the ropes. Boy, there's quite a difference in weight here. 220 against 380. If Miss Kelly taught me my arithmetic correctly, that's a difference of 160. How about that?
Miss Kelly did a fine job. It's interesting when you add the weights of Hirohase and Viet Cong Express number 2 together, they weigh combined only 60 pounds more than Makan Singh.
Well, once again, as he often does in matches, he utilizes, does Jerry Morrow, some of that tape around his wrist. He uses it as a gag. He's got it around his throat, but his arm is protecting it, so the referee can't see it. Oh, he's just pouring it to Hirohase.
Jerry Morrow He calls himself the Champagne Man. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of fans around here would like to pop his cork.
He was using the strings off his tights this time, not the tape. The result was the same. He has used both on occasion. Hussey a little shaken up as a result. Runs into the clothesline. You know, I had a decent interview tonight with Mucka Singh. It amazed me. But when he gets into that ring, he becomes a different person.
Well, Mucka Singh has admitted it before. He is two different people. In the ring, he's mean, he's nasty, he'll do anything to win. Outside the ring, it's a different story. He's actually not a bad guy outside the ring, and I'll even vouch for that. I was even invited to Mucka Singh's wedding, if you can believe that.
I believe that. Into the corner. Jamming away is Morrow. Oh, my. Going after Viet Cong number 2. Of course, Bad News Allen is the same. Wonderful man outside the ring.
Well, not all that wonderful.
Well, he's not bad in the ring either.
In the ring, he's been having all kinds of opportunities to prove himself as a clean wrestler. He has not done so. That's why he's suspended.
It's the guys he's wrestling. They're rotten. Anyway, back at mid-ring, it's Viet Cong number 2 against Mucka Singh. Mucka Singh going to work now. Looking stronger as the fight goes on. Had a terrible start, but he is coming back with a vengeance at this point. A lot of skullduggery going on, but what do you expect when you have Mucka Singh and Jerry Morrow facing Hiro Hasse and Viet Cong Express number 2? We're moving toward the 15-minute mark. It's one fall with a 45-minute time limit. This is Mucka Singh. Terrible time in the early going against Viet Cong number 2. He's got something in his hand, that Mucka Singh.
Mucka Singh pulled a foreign object out from his trunks. He jammed it into the throat of Viet Cong Express number 2. That is typical of Karachi Vice. You saw earlier, Ed Whalen, in this bout, Jerry Morrow using the rope on his trunks to choke the Viet Cong and Hiro Hasse. Now it's Mucka Singh with a concealed weapon. These guys, cheating is their middle name.
Well, that's Mucka. Viet Cong, the one that needs to make a tag somewhere. Jerry Morrow. He hails from Martinique in the West Indies. Used to be very popular hereabouts as anything but now. Strutting, egotistical individual. I'm not sure that his ability equals his ego.
One yellow card for Jerry Morrow.
He's trying to take off that mask, and he winds up with a yellow card.
The card system, of course, there are 2 yellow cards as warnings for foul play. A third card is a red card, an automatic disqualification. And if Mucka Singh and Champagne Jerry Morrow perform their usual dastardly deeds, a disqualification in this bout would not be a surprise.
Neck breaker, he may have this man in trouble.
15 minutes, John. 15 minutes.
We are at the 15-minute mark. Off the ropes. Cover, 1, 2, that's all. Mucka Singh and Jerry Morrow looking for a very important win over Hasse and Viet Cong Express number 2. They are certainly legitimate contenders for the international tag team belts. But as Jim mentioned earlier, both teams can answer to that equation. Both of them strong contenders. Here's Mucka now. Lots of power! Gives him the power slam and covers for a 2 count, and that's all.
Amazing determination by Viet Cong Express number 2 to avoid that pin. It's interesting that you mentioned that Muckan Singh and Jerry Morrow are contenders. Muckan Singh claims they are the rightful tag team champions, just as he claims he is, in fact, the rightful North American heavyweight champ. He says Owen Hart has been dodging him.
Well, he's going Air Express. Hossie broke it up. Just lost his patience, went in there, and broke it up quickly, which probably is just as well in the sense that I think the 3 count was just about there. Well, Viet Cong hanging on. Hanging on. Morrow trying to stretch the Viet Cong smile.
He's trying to rip his face right off his head. He's now converting it to a form of the sleeper as soon as referee Wayne Hart observed what was going on, but it was a chokehold before and also a terrible ripping action at the mouth of the Viet Cong.
Well, he keeps that headlock on firmly. Tag, and it's Mucka coming in. Mucka Singh and Jerry Morrow against Hiro Hossie and Viet Cong Express number 2. 1 fall, 45-minute time limit. Off those ropes now. Mucka gives him the elbow. Boy, that's like running into a concrete wall, isn't it? Big man. Methinks it behooves the Viet Cong man to make a tag.
It certainly does. He's been in there a long time, and he's taken a lot of abuse from both Champagne Jerry Morrow and Muckan Singh. Now Muckan trying that big bear hug, but I would say if Hiro Hossie can't get in the ring and get in quickly, it could all be over, and Muckan Singh and Jerry Morrow could have their hands raised in victory.
Well, that's the direction they're heading. And we are heading toward the 20-minute mark. Morrow going after the back now. Viet Cong has been in there a while. Morrow's going to drive him. Got him. Makes the tag. Here's Hiro Hossie. He's a wonderful fighter. Catches Mucka coming in beautifully. Here comes the slam. Yes, sir. Goes after his man once again. Drives him off those ropes. Got him beautifully with a clothesline. Covers 1, 2. Not quite. Good action.
Amazing speed by Hiro Hossie. You talked about the speed of Dynamite Kid earlier on. Here's another man that has that fantastic speed and acrobatic ability as well as a great deal of strength. Here comes a pile driver.
Crowd says yes. Drops his man. Morrow's pretty still. He really got caught on that pile driver. Beautiful splash. And Mucka broke it up once again. Not surprising. I think Hossie had him. Once again, Hossie taking over control, slaps the sleeper on. And you know and I know that Mucka will break that up. Can't keep him out of there.
Well, referee Wayne Hart, I think, is being a bit lenient. This deserves another yellow card or perhaps even a disqualification. Look at that. Over the top rope went. Oh, and here comes Gamma.
Not again. Not again. Not again. The referee didn't see that. Gamma again. Parading behind a mask. I don't believe it.
It's ridiculous. Great Gamma. Behind that mask, he did a pile driver out on the concrete on Hirohashi, who's being counted out outside the ring. I don't think he can possibly recover from having his head slammed into the concrete. It looks like it is all over.
Well, there is no justice.
Well, here's the Karachi Vice crew and Muckin Singh. That was obviously a setup. I reviewed the tapes. I saw Viet Cong Express number 2 pull the ropes down. His partner, Hirohashi, went out on the concrete. Obviously, it was a setup.
Shut up, you little dwarf. I'll tell you about this. He finally came to his senses. He's not like a little pygmy like you that's got to come out here and keep rattling. He knows what's going on. He knows where there's a winner. You don't even call the guy his partner. We're his partners, not the little rice slinger. He's not his partner. Now let me tell you something. I want to find out what Gomer Pyle's doing here. What's Gomer Pyle running out here for, Kirshner? What's he think he is? Some hero? I think he jumped out of a couple airplanes without a parachute and landed on his head. I'll tell you something. He don't look right. His eyes are all messed up. There's something wrong with this guy. I think maybe the plane drug him along instead of he jumping out. It landed on him or something.
You didn't seem to want any piece of him, though.
Hey, I'll tell him. Anytime Gomer Pyle wants a piece of me, he just got to let me know. I don't know if he's still in boot camp or what he's doing. I'm a true patriot. They're going to change the song, the nation's song of Canada. Oh, Mucka, we stand by thee. They already called me. You see what the little hero paratrooper thinks about that. The next time he goes up in a plane, he's going to want to stay up there instead of coming down and facing me.
Okay, Champagne Man, what have you got to say for yourself?
David, I just want to find out, you want to find for me. Bruce Watt and Brian Pillman must be a prejudice. How come they don't give us a title shot? You prove it again every Friday night, every night. Myself and Maka Singh, we defeat everybody. If you have to sit at the hospital, kick him out of business, or stuff like that, but they're still there. They don't give us a title shot. Can you find out for us if they're prejudiced or what?
I'll see what I can find out. Obviously, the Champagne Man wants a title shot. Now, behind this mask is obviously Great Gamma.
Me, Viet Cong number Express number 1, Karachi Vice number 1.
You can't fool me.
31.
He can't fool me.
Ask him.
Hey, Hirohase, garbage.
That's all he needs to say.
Okay, well, Hase wants a
garbage.
piece of Viet Cong
He
Express
always
number 2.
wants a piece of somebody, the little chopstick twirler. He wants a piece of everybody. The only thing he's doing is leaving pieces of himself out here. He can't beat him. He can't beat him. He can't beat me, the Champagne Man. Who's he going to want a piece of next? The mailman or the milkman?
Okay.
He's a bum, and he might as well sit back there and tell old war stories with Gomer Pyle Kirshner, because that's the closest they're going to get to being champions.
Muckin Singh, a man of a few words, a few
I'll give
million.
you one more word, you little dwarf.
Time he's had incredible success on tours of the Far East. He's been acclaimed as a very strong mid-heavyweight championship contender, and twice he was robbed of stripping the title from the Great Gamma by bad officiating by the man that you see in the ring right now, Jürgen Hermann.
Well, all they're doing is going after that left leg. And sometimes the right, I might add. They're just looking after Benoit's wheels. Now, a little aid is being given by Jason. The referee doesn't see what's going on. Pillman does, and he breaks it up. Left leg again. And Jason going to work. We're past the 10-minute mark. I repeat, you can eliminate a fighter by throwing him over the top rope, or by laying on a pinfall, or by a 10-second countout outside the ring. Little flying by the Zodiac, and again it's to the legs. There's a yellow card finally being shown to Jason. Leg lock being applied, the 4, Benoit. In difficulty, but that was broken up by Bruce Hart. And Jurgen Herman just doesn't know what to do.
This is a very difficult bout to officiate. I don't envy the task of Jurgen Herman. You can see Chris Benoit being ganged up on by two wrestlers. Benoit has been taking a heck of a beating in there. He should make a tag very quickly. He could find himself eliminated, almost pinned by the Zodiac, the man who gets his inspiration from the stars.
Benoit, he loves to get at Gamma. Boy, he's getting at him now. There's the tag. Here comes Bruce Hart. Going after Gamma. Gonna drive him. Here it comes. That beautiful clothesline. Bruce Hart, a great practitioner of that particular move. Now he's flying. Caught him on the head with a knee. Covers. Just two, and Jason breaks it up. Boy, this is great action.
This has been non-stop action, and it has not been decided by the referee, which is good. The wrestlers are handling the action themselves without any outside interference, although Judah Rosenblum is at ringside cheering on Jason the Terrible in the ring right now. Look at this maneuver by Jason. He weighs 280 pounds. Amazing speed for such a big man.
He just keeps coming off those ropes. Finally, he blew it. Zodiac. There is no love lost in this affair. Bruce Hart, Brian Pillman, Chris Benoit against Jason the Terrible, the Zodiac, and the Great Gamma outside the ring. Gamma's going after Bruce Hart. Inside the ring, a lot of arguing. And Jurgen Herman, the referee, not noticing anything that's going on, really. However, in his defense, I will say that handling a six-man tag is a tough job for any single official.
It is a bout that should have, look at this, oh, very close to a pin, but Bruce Hart got his leg up. It is a bout, as you say, Ed, that should be officiated by two referees. It's the only way they can possibly keep track of six bodies flying around the ring at breakneck speed. And look at Jason, oh. Bruce Hart in all kinds of difficulty.
Well, he's jammed into that corner. The referee is busy elsewhere, of course. Pillman comes in to try to offer aid. He will be ordered out quickly by Herman. Now watch this. Jason looking at Pillman. Obviously, they've got a bit of a hate on. Benoit comes up behind. He goes after Jason. Everybody's after everybody. Meantime, Hart can't get out of the corner. He's being held in there by the tag rope around his neck.
15 minutes on. 15 minutes.
We're at the 15-minute mark. One fall, no time limit. Six men still eligible.
Keep in mind, a wrestler can be eliminated if he's thrown over the top rope, and that looks like exactly what the Zodiac might have in mind, but no, he slams Bruce Hart down to the canvas. Whoa, 2 3/4. Very, very close. If a wrestler is pinned or counted out outside the ring, as well as being thrown over the top rope, they are eliminated.
It's Gamma. Made the tag. Bruce into the corner. He is in unfriendly territory. Finally, Pillman's had enough. And that's what Jurgen Herman notices. Doesn't notice when there are two guys going after Hart in the corner. Now it's Hart against Gamma. Mid-ring. The crowd feels almost like it's limp right now. There's been such great action.
It has been non-stop action, and the man who's been in the ring for the longest amount of time is Bruce Hart. He gets away. He makes that tag. In comes Benoit, and it is his favorite target. Look at him go after Jason. Whoa, it is a street fight in there.
Pillman grabbing Gama, a little meeting. Bango. Now it's supposed to be Benoit against Gama. Referee is paying no attention. Here comes the pile driver. Jürgen Hermann is not there. Chris Benoit is taking the aerial route. He's got a long flight. No, sir. Found a bad landing field, and there's Jason illegally coming off the ropes. 1, 2, 3. Benoit's out of there. It was illegal. The referee didn't see it.
The first wrestler has been eliminated, and it was the result of an illegal move by Jason the Terrible. But now it'll be just 2 Vice Busters. Chris Benoit has been eliminated. Now it's strictly Bad Company. The International Tag Team Champions, Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, going against a trio of some very big, very bad opponents.
Well, Pillman into the corner. Can he get Pillman? 1, 2, not quite. Boy, for a minute there, I thought Bruce Hart was going to be on his own.
And that is the problem. Now facing the team of Hart and Pillman, they only have 2 men. The other side has 3. The other side will make plenty of tags. You can see there was a tag there. Jason the Terrible coming in after the tag by the Zodiac, and 3 men will be fresher than 2.
Here comes the power slam. Has he got him? Gets a little elevation in the corner. Oh, man, did he flatten him. Cover 1, 2. Oh, no, he fought his way out. Oh, that was close.
Amazing determination by Brian Pillman. He took that 280-pound flying human projectile, and look at him go. The big flying drop kick. Pillman showing amazing intestinal fortitude.
He cannot make the tag. He certainly needed to. Gama against Pillman. It's an elimination tag. The elimination has eliminated Benoit. 3 against 2. Up on the rope for Pillman's leg, and thus he escaped any pin. Gama using the hair. The referee says nothing. Well, there goes Gama.
20 minutes gone. 20 minutes.
And we are at the 20-minute mark. Gama comes over, makes the tag. Zodiac coming in. Can Pillman make the tag? He cannot.
Zodiac would dearly love to administer his submission hold. It is a version of the DDT he calls the falling star, but Brian Pillman has other ideas. He's gone over. They both went over the top rope. Pillman trying to hang on. They're both out of there.
So now we've got Bruce Hart against Jason the Terrible and the Great Gama. 2 against 1. Caught him coming in. Well, Bruce Hart has a piece of work to do. Bruce going high. Cover 1, 2, and again Gama breaks it up. Gama is not supposed to be in there.
Bruce Hart facing an almost impossible task. He has to go it alone now. against Jason the Terrible and the Great Gamma, and you can bet there won't be a lot of legal maneuvers on the part of Gamma and Jason.
Well, you see an illustration of it right there as they combine. Now they're getting a yellow card. That's the second yellow card. That's the second yellow card. Meantime, the referee is totally ignoring Gamma, who's interfering on that arm outside the ring. Amazing that Jürgen Hermann doesn't notice. What's going on here? Would one of them get out of the ring? Well, finally, Jason does.
And there was no legal tag. Of course, referee Jürgen Hermann did not spot that. But like I said earlier, Bruce Hart, he has an unbelievable, unenviable task, and it might just be too much for one wrestler to expect to defeat a pair. Oh, I thought that was going to be it.
We're now nearing the 25-minute mark. The elimination has seen Benoit and Pillman out of there, along with Zodiac, meaning it's Bruce Hart against Jason and Gamma. And that Jason can be devastating.
280 pounds. Oh, 2 3/4. 280 pounds of solid muscle. This man is half man, half beast. They say he's just a killing machine in there. The only man he ever seems to listen to is the Zodiac, who seems to have some form of cosmic control over the Jason the Terrible. But look at this. Bruce Hart fired into the turnbuckle. He looks like he's virtually out cold.
Gamma against Hart. Drives him to the opposite corner. This one may be just about over. Knee drop right across the jaw. He kicked out again. Man, oh man. Close call. Once again, Gamma going after him, missed the clothesline, pulls him over, small package one. Well, Jason simply will not stop interfering.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's not a case of one man fighting a tag team. Look at that, the big face mask going right into the midriff of Bruce Hart. It isn't one man against a tag team, it's one man against two in the ring, because these men, the Great Gamma and Jason the Terrible, don't seem to care whether they tag or not, and referee Jürgen Hermann seems almost powerless to keep the two of them out of the ring together.
25 minutes on. 25 minutes.
We're at the 25-minute mark. Tag. Gamma going to work. Jason being assured that he's supposed to be out of there. There is no time limit. Watch it now. The Cobra hold. Has he got him? He's got the Cobra on him.
That is the East Indian Sleeper, the Great Gamma's favorite hold. It is a submission hold if he can make it stick. The Cobra hold cuts off the supply of blood to the brain, can even cause brain damage. Bruce Hart looks like he's on Queer Street.
Well, he's got two of them after him on the ropes. Jason comes in illegally. Bruce Hart now in trouble. Jason going upstairs. Boy, if he comes down, mask first, look out. Again, Bruce gets the leg up on the ropes.
Bruce Hart just barely hanging on. He has taken all kinds of abuse, headbutts with that face mask, and look at this, Gamma driving him in the stomach as he's being held by Jason the Terrible, and at ringside, Judah Rosenblum is loving it. Hey, Hiro Hossie interferes. He didn't like what he was seeing. Hossie is becoming a factor. Look at that.
Oh, now, Jason is out of there. Oh, wait just a minute. Gamma is out of there. Bruce Hart, the winner.
An unbelievable finish. Hiro Hossie strikes back at Karachi Vice. The Vice Busters have won the bout in a surprising ending that saw both Jason the Terrible and the Great Gamma go over the top rope. Your winners, Bruce Hart, Flying Brian Pillman, and Chris Benoit, the Vice Busters. Well, here they are, the defeated trio. You tasted revenge at the hands of the Vice Busters.
Jim Davies, I don't like that word, defeated, because that doesn't exist in our vocabulary. You see the three Supreme Warriors right here. We've got one belt, the Commonwealth Mid-Heavyweight. These two people are the uncrowned champions, not only the international uncrowned champions, but the world uncrowned champions. There's not a tag team like the two of them anywhere in this world. You cannot name me one tag team.
How about Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman?
Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, nothing but a bunch of bumps, Jim Davies, nothing but a bunch of bumps. You saw it here in a six-man tag. We eliminated that little punk Chris Benoit. We eliminated Brian Pillman. Bruce Hart was begging for mercy. We had him in the middle. We were beating the hell out of him at will. Whenever we wanted to, we picked him up. We threw him from pillar to post. We had him at our mercy until that no-good right-seater out of nowhere came in and pulled my foot. That was an outside interference.
Well, you should be familiar with outside interference.
I don't want you to interrupt me when I'm talking, man. He should have been disqualified for outside interference. Hiro Hossie, you skinny little funny-eyed, whatever. I don't want to say the words on TV because they might take me off the air. But you sticking your nose in a business where it doesn't belong, punk. You shoot off a lot more than you can handle. You want a piece of the Great Gamma. I don't want to take advantage of you. You accuse me of a lot of things. Accuse me coming in here with a mask over my head. I don't need to resort to tactics like that. I'm not that type of man. I've got a good-looking face. I don't need to hide it.
Sure.
You want to come in here anytime, I'm ready for you.
Fine. Okay. The losers.
I've enjoyed this. I hope you have too. We will look forward to seeing you next week at the same time. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of TSN Wrestling. Bye-bye now.